The next presentation is Linux on RISC-V, Software Ecosystem Update. The speaker is Mr. Wei Fu, Senior Software Engineer, Red Hat Software, Beijing Company Limited. Red Hat is the world's leading provider of open source solutions. An open development model connects Red Hat associates to open source communities. Red Hat builds and supports open source products from open source projects, participants in projects and communities. Our products depends on often in leading roles. Mr. Hu has embedded enterprise vehicle experience on Linux kernel driver and VSP system porting, and CI loop, Koji system, and distros. Also have rich experience on firmware, such as uboot, ARM, and TF, UEFI, ACPI, GRV. Currently studying a Linux distro like Fedora, Red Hat EL, and CentOS, RIVOS, and focusing on promoting RISC-V to Fedora primary architectures and automotive. The presentation is 20 minutes long, please. So I ring a bell when 15 minutes is passed. Question time is 10 minutes long. So would you start, Mr. Wei Fu?
Yes, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I have shown my screen. Can you see my screen on the? Can you see my screen? The presentation? Yes.
So you can start.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. 皆さんこんにちは。私はフリです。Great thanks for having me to make presentation about Linux software ecosystem update for RISC-V. It has been a half year since I made the similar presentation in RISC-V Day Tokyo 2022 spring. There are some good news and update for RISC-V, which I'm gonna share with you. So in this 20 minutes, I will summarize the latest news about Fedora and RISC-V, including the history and how we make it, and what's our plan for the next step. I will also show about current status for some other Linux distribution on RISC-V, like Arch, Gentoo. More importantly, Android. I guess a lot of people like to see Android can running on RISC-V. Finally, I will summarize current status of firmware and kernel, just general summarized, and showing the good news. Most importantly, showing the good news about RISC-V server. So let's start with our major topic, Fedora and RISC-V. So this is a brief highlight showing some of the milestone in the history of Fedora and RISC-V. 60 years ago, we asked some of the Red Hat engineer and some other engineer from community working on making Fedora running on RISC-V. They spent several years to go on continually updating Fedora. So because of the upstream first policy, we are wait until 2018 March to start the late final bootstrap. So and then we have Fedora 20, Fedora 20, Fedora 30, Fedora 2, Fedora 33. Now we are working on Fedora 38 as soon, aka Fedora Rawhide. at a long time ago, we're still struggling without any real hardware. Then once we enable graphic desktop on Fedora, we have a first real hardware, which is Sci-Fi Unleash. And now we can have the other powerful real RISC-V server from Sophgo, which I will introduce later. So it has been changed a lot since these 6 years, which shows the very rapidly development on RISC-V. So this is a simple graphic about Fedora Bootstrap. I won't go because of the time. I won't go into the detail, but I will raise a question: do we really need a Fedora Bootstrap again for RV32? Because some of the IoT silicon vendor will still think about RV62. So if we can enable Fedora on that, that means we can enrich the software ecosystem for this 32 architecture. Sorry, it's 32. Yeah, and this. So now let's talk about how we build Fedora Rawhide. We're still using Cogit for RPM building, but all the builders are still QEMU since thanks to the Chinese Academy of Science, we got good enough x86 server for making a lot of QEMU builder. But for now, QEMU builder still a most powerful builder for currently. But we are waiting for the real server builder for RISC-V, because Fedora only accepted the software come from the real hardware, and the Qmail only for testing. So for now, we have two major Cogit system. We have two major Cogit system. Now, one is in China, provided by Institute of Software, Chinese Academy of Science. We have a Fedora 36 repo there, and we are working on Rawhide. The other one is maintained by Davey. We call it ROX server, and we work together to make latest Fedora release, latest Fedora software package for RISC-V. So this graphic shows the way we are building package. We not just using Cogit system, but also using QEMU user mode, which is faster than QEMU system mode, and which can build GCC or other two chain in a day. So we made these two systems work together and build package as fast as we could. For now, if we have a server which has deployed more than 100 QEMU builder and some user mode builder, we can build thousands of packages in a day. So we have tried that. That's the way we are building Fedora 36 for now. So as we may know, Fedora 37 has been released. We call it GA, a general reliable. We start our Fedora 36 building after RISC-V Day Tokyo 2021 autumn. We start to build Fedora RPM using Fedora 36 branch of SRPM report in Fedora 33 environment. In another word, we are building Fedora 36 from 33. So, but even for now, the 36 is dated. We want to make RISC-V. If we wanted to make RISC-V as the official support arch in Fedora, we need to make it up to date. So we are working on Fedora latest Fedora release, and also it's a release about it's a rolling update release called Rawhide. So we decide to start the latest release as right now, and we already built more than 14,000 package for this release, and we are upgrading from 36 to Rawhide right now. For the repo, maybe people wanted to try and wanted to download the image for this architecture. So we have two major repos in the world. One is OpenSBI, the other is ROX. So if you're interested about that, you can follow the link, download all the package we have, and even you can use this repo as a base to build your own RPM package. And since Qmail is the most convenient and valuable target for every developer, so in Fedora 36 development, we are using Libvirt and the Qmail as our test target and tool. So Qmail is the native support by our Imagine. We will post we have posted a wiki page in Fedora in Fedora Wiki and GitHub. We have a full document in GitHub, but it's still, because I'm come from China, so I'm making Chinese one. But if anyone interested about that, we can make the English one. So we were talking about how to try Fedora Imagine on Libvirt. And this is a picture that shows the Fedora 36 running on Qmail by Libvirt. And this is about Sugar and an RISC-V desktop. And this picture is about RISC DE and the most famous lightweight desktop environment XFCE. So for now, we have made multiple desktop environment running on Fedora and on RISC-V 36. And once we have a real development board has GPU inside, we can run Gentoo and some other advanced desktop environment on that. So this is our development status. We are using Fedora 36 as a repo to build 38, which is Rawhide, and all the key key software component are the latest one. Like GCC, we are using the latest GCC from Fedora and the latest Java OpenJDK and Perl, Python, something like that. Even the other component is updating, but it's still a very new, very new version of that. We are working on LibFFI, which is a very important component very key and important component in the whole distro. So it took some time, but we are working on it. I think even though you can try our repo, but we are still updating. So people may interest about if we have Imagine how we can try or run it on real hardware. This hardware is general available Allwinner D1, which D1 is Allwinner is very famous and very famous silicon vendor in SoC vendor in China, and they have made a famous RISC-V development board called D1. Prepare the Fedora 36 Imagine for that. The picture shows the booting up the screen, and yesterday we just verify the imaging in our repo. So you can just try that in the link through this link. You can download the imaging and try this on your, if you can buy the D1. But I guess it's very easy to get in China, and yeah. And also we are working on JH7110 come from Starfight, a Chinese RISC-V silicon company. They have a famous platform called Starfight Vision 5 V1, which has dated. And the Vision 5 V2, using the latest chip from LAN, is coming soon. Maybe they will release that in 1 or 2 months. So you can, and I have watched the video, which this video showed V2 can run video and can run video games on this platform, and also this includes GPU inside. Also has PCIe Gentoo. So that means you can plug in the SSD inside this platform, inside this development board, and you can try this. It can get into or put into the Linux distro faster. So it's very. I'm looking forward to get one in 1 or 2 months. Yeah, and actually a lot of other development board is coming, and other development board has its own market, like Sci-Fi Unmatched, which you can run Fedora also, and the Canon CanDrive K510, which is the latest platform from Canon, and we are working on make Fedora running on that, and also a Chinese Canon Science making a new silicon called Shangshan, which they are target on server silicon, but right now they are making a prototype, and we try to work together to make Fedora running on that. The other development board based on JH7110 is Star64, made by Pi64, a famous development board vendor. They work with Vans to make this development board, and they are trying to make laptop also based on this silicon. And the most exciting platform we are looking for, make me very exciting, is Sophgo, where they are making the server, RISC-V server, which for now they are making two-way RISC-V server. So I'm looking forward to have one. So after the introduced about introduction on this new platform and our Fedora distribution, let's talk about Linux distro on RISC-V. So I won't go through the detail about all the distro, because too many information about that. If we go through that, we need another half hour. But what I can say is Arch Linux, Debian, Gentoo, and OpenEULA come from Huawei. They have very good status. Every distro I mentioned here can run on RISC-V real hardware. The development board may be D1 or maybe the Starfight Vision 5 V1. And also maybe they have tried V2, because Starfight has made some prototype. So from this 2 page, you can see actually this famous distro has very good support for RISC-V. And under help of Chinese chemical science, we have porting a lot of important application on RISC-V, like LibreOffice. We have built and run LibreOffice on RISC-V, and also Chrome and Firefox. Because Fedora is using Postman as container, so we have made Postman and the builder on RISC-V, and also tried it. It successfully can run Ubuntu or Debian on Fedora. So the application layer on RISC-V is getting richer and richer. So if you have any product, you don't have to worry about software ecosystem for now. So I guess most of people are interested about Android on RISC-V because of Android. ARM Silicon has got a very big success on cell phone. So actually, more than 2 years ago, Alibaba Group, T-Head from Alibaba Group has working on Android porting on their own platform. So Google, the good news is Google has started to accept PR about RISC-V support for Android open source project since October 1st, 2022. A tracking sheet online has been set up to tracking the progress and will updated bi-weekly. Also, RISC-V International, RISC-V International hosts upstream report for Android. They have published a new major release on October 1st, and update and then keeping update and upgrade about ART, and more PR and the technical note will contribute from contribution from PRCG Lab since the latest release from October 1st. So from the link you can get the latest code from RVI and the PRCG Lab. And the news about you can see the link, and the news about Google accept the very first Android RISC-V patch for Android is here. So this is the screenshot about the commit. So it's 1.5 years earlier, right? So that's a very important milestone for Android or RISC-V. So you may know, you may ask, if I wanted to get the latest software development information, where I can get it, right? And which meeting I should attend. So I recommend you to join the two meeting about this information. One is hosted by Institute of Software, Chinese Chemical Science, the group called PRCG Lab. They host the RISC-V Eastern Asia bi-week meeting, but it's Chinese. But it's a Chinese meeting. So if you know Chinese, welcome to join us, and we show all the information about software ecosystem and the distro, and also the information come from Russia, Japan, and Korea. All kind of information we will show there. But if you are the English speaker, you cannot speak Chinese, you can speak English, no problem. We are also has an English version information sharing meeting called RISC-V open hour, which I will normally, we have two open hour. One is for American time, and the other is for Asian time. So you can join the Asian time, and I will normally I will host the open hour, and the other people will join, like the other Chinese RISC-V ambassador Wei Fu will showing all the information from PRCG Lab. So talking about PRCG Lab, they provide opportunity. They already built the RISC-V cluster using D1 in the other and Sci-Fi Unmatched. They have deployed. You can see that's the PRCG Lab in Nanjing. So they have more thousands of D1 development board. They showing the development environment all over the world. If you're interested about that, you can follow a link, see if they can get remote access or what from remote access to one of their machine. So it's totally open, it's free, and they just do this for rich software ecosystem for RISC-V. So after this introduction, I just do some summary about software components. So for the boot flow, for Linux on RISC-V, we have several components like the OpenSBI, uboot, grub, Linux kernel. So that's the full boot flow for that. And but we have some other good news for that. For OpenSBI, there is a Rust version of OpenSBI of implementation called RISC-SBI, which you can follow the link, see if you're interested about that. They have porting RISC-SBI on a lot of different platforms. And UEFI is on the way. Once we got the real hardware, we'll make the UEFI running on that, like the server, RISC-V server, we will get. So for the grub, upstream grub has support RISC-V. We may need one or two patch, but it's very close. And I've made grub to boot Linux for 2 years, so I don't see any problem to use that. And this boot flow is a very standard boot flow for normal Linux distro. So the software ecosystem is very rich and complete for RISC-V now. And for the ecosystem, we are not just working on IoT, but also working on HPC. So UEFI ACPI has merged support for general RISC-V support. For any real hardware, we just need some little porting. We can enable that. So UEFI and ACPI will support a real hardware. I so believe in the next RISC-V day, I can show you the real hardware running UEFI and ACPI. At last, I will showing you. I wanted to, tell you the very good news about the world first RISC-V server development platform come from Sophgo. The silicon called SG2042, and it's a 64-core RISC-V server chip, and it can build a two-way RISC-V server. And the silicon has been made, and the evaluation board has arrived in Sophgo office. And I will try to get one to make Fedora running on that. And also maybe we can have some product to help the RISC-V developer build more package because the only broker for Fedora officially support RISC-V is we don't have real server. We cannot build Fedora. We cannot build Fedora package in the Fedora infras because they require the standard server. So if we finish this prototype, we will make several server to integrate into Fedora infrastructure and make RISC-V being officially support. But not just Sophgo has this silicon. We also have RIVOS, Intel working on RISC-V server. I think there are more coming, and so which is that I maybe someone knows that. So at least for now we have three company is working on that. So I guess ties it up. So thank you very much for having me, and thanks to all the people and the company and organization helped me to finish this slide. And thank you very much. If you have any question, you can ask me now, or maybe you can contact with me. I'm glad to sharing all the information with you guys. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Mr. Wei Fu. So any questions? I have one question. So your project is covers very wide range from single board computer to server. So I probably missed, but the purpose of this project is kind of replace x86 world or ARM world to RISC-V chip-based stuff. So
no, we are not trying to replace any architecture or any chips. We have RISC-V has his own advantage. Especially this architecture is totally open. It won't be controlled by any country, any organization, any company, right? So yes. It's, as you may know, the some reason which Chinese government very worry about the technology to be controlled by some other company or country. So that's the reason why RISC-V is developed very rapidly in China. And we have a lot of company working on this. And you can see Android has been porting by Chinese company. And the first RISC-V server silicon has been made by Chinese. So we are not trying to replace anything. We're just trying to make sure we can have our own technology, and it's an open technology for everyone. For everyone. That's the reason why we're working on it so hard. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for the very clear answer. So any other questions? Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. Wei Fu-san. So let's close the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. See you.